The Islanders outshot the Ducks Tuesday night, but they still lost 3-1 on home ice. So let's talk Isles hockey with Stefen Rosner, Islanders beat writer for NHL.com. What's going on, my man? Loving the step and repeat. Ooh, fancy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, so some news just broke. Can you kind of give us an update on what's going on with the squad right now?
Yeah, per Ethan Sears, the New York Post, Alexander Romanov will miss his third straight game. He suffered an upper body injury against the New Jersey Devils in their 4-3 overtime win. He stayed in that game, but did miss the game against Florida, 6-3 loss, did miss last night. So it's an issue. He's been their best defenseman this year, and he's unlikely to play tonight.
All right, that's unfortunate because they need all the help they can get on defense. Let's talk about that 3-1 loss last night. What's your biggest takeaways from it?
Yeah, you talked about the shot total. Shot totals are great, but shot quality matters. According to advanced statistics, they only had 8 high-danger shots. Last night, they allowed their Ducks goalie, Dostal, to see a lot of shots. They didn't crash the net. And when they had their chances, they didn't bury, and that's pretty much been the entire story all year. The penalty kills struggled, and then Ilya Sorokin continues to be brilliant. Unfortunately for Ilya, he can't score goals. So last night was a similar situation to what it's been the whole year. Good goaltending by Sorokin, tough special teams, and an inability to score when they have their chances. Let's
stay on Sorokin because he made 19 saves on the night. Obviously, they didn't get the win, but he continues to have a hot start to the season. He stopped 122 of 131 shots so far this season. Talk about what you've seen from him early on throughout this early hockey year.
Yeah, he was a major question mark, Brandon, coming into this year. He had off-season back surgery. He had a really tough year last year. He's been brilliant. He's back to his Vezina caliber self we saw a couple years ago. He's doing everything he can to keep the Islanders within striking distance, and unfortunately he's not getting the support. But you're seeing him track the puck better, control his rebounds. He just looks more dialed in and locked in, physically refreshed, mentally refreshed, and the Islanders are going to do anything this year, whether it's rebound from these tough losses or go on a winning streak at some point. Ilya Sorokin is going to be the biggest part of that.
Well, how do they help him on that back end? Because obviously he's having the big year, like we said, but how do you help him out on the defensive side of things to where he's not having to be Superman each night?
Yeah, I think the defense has been pretty good outside of the penalty kill, which has really struggled. It's about scoring goals, giving him support. You know, it can't be every night where he has to be perfect. That's mentally taxing. And I think that was an issue maybe that we saw last year. I think it's about scoring goals. He needs some support. That way he doesn't have to be perfect. I know for pretty much every athlete, if you feel like you have to be perfect every single night, that's very unlikely going to happen. So I think for Ilya, it's just he needs his forwards to score the goals. The defense has been good enough. He's been good enough. The only way to win is if you outscore your opponents.
All right, they've lost 3 of the last 4. How does the squad get back on track?
Yeah, it's just mental toughness. Patrick Waugh has spoken a lot about that. We've asked players and him how you get over that. And the mental toughness is going to the dirty areas and just bearing down to score goals. You can't practice building confidence. The only way they're going to get confidence by doing it in the games. Like I said, the defense has been pretty good, and there's chances. There are guys that are paying a lot of money to score goals that just aren't. Matthew Barzal struggled, no goals at 5-on-5. Bo Horvat struggled alongside him, and with Anthony Duclair out injured 4 to 6 weeks, Simon Holmstrom's really struggled to finish his chances on that top line. So it's not just the top line struggling. The bottom line hasn't produced offensively. It's pretty much been the Brock Nelson line and the Jean Gabriel Pageau line that's really coming to its own. But, yeah, they just have to find a way to get one of those wins. I think if they get a win where it's a 4-1 win, a 5-1 win, that'll build confidence. But then it's up to the next game. It can't just be a one game when you're feeling good, like the Devil game, 4-3 overtime win. They did blow the lead late there, but they got the win, and they were feeling confident going into that game against Florida. They got out to a 3-0 lead early. The offense was there, and then they got outplayed, and they lose 6-3. So if they're going to find a way to get out of this, it's not going to be just one win where they show well. They got to put a couple together where they can really build that confidence.
Could there be anything going on behind the scenes that we don't know, you know?
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, you know, Patrick Waugh shut down the narrative that him and Lou were not on the same page, and it's tough. I think Waugh's tried a lot of different line combinations, and things aren't working. And it's not that they don't have talent. They clearly have talent. There's guys on this roster that have scored 30-plus goals. There are guys on this roster that crash in that. But, yeah, there's definitely probably frustrations behind the scenes from the players themselves not getting the most out of them. And overall, losing sucks. Nobody wants to lose. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure behind the scenes that, you know there hasn't been sellout crowds at UBS Arena. I'm not sure how much that plays a part, but it's just been a struggle for the team to find their game under Waugh. There was so high expectations coming in, a brand new, Patrick Waugh training camp under him. The players looked refreshed. They were worked hard in training camp, the blown leads, the back-to-backs. That was all supposed to be fixed. And out of the gate, it's not. And so now the question mark is, how do they fix it? And so far, no one has any answers to it.
All right, Stefan, tell the people they can find you, man. Shout out the platform.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter or X at Stefen_Rosner, NHL.com, the hockey news, and my brand new Substack, The Elmonters, at theelmonters.com.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.